Hi guys, in today's video I've rounded up for you guys what I think are the best PC controllers in 2021. And before I start, let me know down below in the comments if you prefer a controller or the standard keyboard plus mouse. First on the list, we have a quite known name on the controller industry alias, the ultimate budget solution, the Logitech F310, which has the best budget. By including support for as many games as possible, Logitech aims to make the F310 the only PC gamepad you'll ever need. The controller installs and operates instantly out of the box with most modern PC titles, but it has other pack-ins to allow for use with other games. If you're looking to game with older PC titles that existed before current input standards such as direct input, you can toggle a physical switch to swap the device into that mode. F310 comes in blue color with black highlights. The F310 features 2 analog mini sticks, 2 button trigger combos, a D-pad, 4 programmable action buttons, A, B, X, Y, and the mandatory back, start, and mode buttons. On the underside, you'll find a toggle that allows you to switch between X input and direct input. Ensuring those vintage platformers you have stashed away will likely function, though you may need to download the software from Logitech's website to fine-tune your configuration. The grip of the Logitech F310 gamepad is also relatively comfortable and not slippery because of the textured surface. But for those who have small hands, the distance between the right and left grips looks a little wide. The plastic material used in this gamepad looks thin, but it turns out to be very sturdy and not as cheap gamepad after use. The Logitech F310 gamepad allows you to experience console-style gaming at an affordable price, and during gameplay seems to be very responsive. The controller has all the necessary buttons needed to play console-style games such as Halo or Assassin's Creed. Next up, we have quite a unique pick, the 8BitDo SN30 Pro, which is the best retro design. There is something about Nintendo and its products that has an everlasting yet memorable design. There are still many people hunting and collecting retro Nintendo hardware just for keepsake. With that in mind, there is a market for controllers that has the look and feel of these retro Nintendo controllers, but with modern functions and compatibility. Introducing the 8BitDo SN30. 8BitDo hit a home run with the SN30 Pro. This controller is perfect for retro games, along with working great for modern games. Plus, it works with just about any device you could imagine, including your phone, PC, or Nintendo Switch. This time, 8BitDo is taking its design cues from the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES for short, one of my favorite consoles of all time. 8BitDo has done a great job of using classic Nintendo design elements to charm retro game fans. The N30 Pro harkened back to the Nintendo Entertainment System NES quite successfully from a design perspective, but had to alter the hardware in order to add functionality. With the SN30 Pro, 8BitDo didn't change as much of the design. If you love the look and feel of the SNES controller, it's all here in the SN30 Pro and does it better than the N30 Pro. The standard SNES controller feature are here: direction pad on the left, A, B, X, Y face buttons on the right, small rubber select and start buttons in the middle, and L, R trigger buttons on the top. The SN30 Pro and its variations add modern gamepad accoutrements like dual analog sticks located between the direction pad, select, start, and A, B, X, Y buttons, and secondary Z, L, and Z right triggers alongside the L and R buttons. Finally, small circular home and star share buttons sit below the direction pad and face buttons. Next, we have the best all-rounder, the Razer Wolverine V2. Razer is looking to continue catering to the hardcore audience with its newly released Wolverine V2 Chroma controller for PC, Xbox Series. This is a premium controller with a tremendous amount of customizable functionality. One of the most obvious upgrades over a standard Xbox controller is the Mecha Tactile button. The action buttons on the D-pad are responsive and satisfyingly clicky. Think about a mechanical keyboard but applied to controller buttons. Compared to a traditional membrane button, the Mecha Tactile buttons allow gamers to click quicker. Razer quotes a 40% faster actuation and response time for their controller, which makes all the difference in competitive gaming. This controller is actually replacing the Wolverine Ultimate that was released in late 2017. There are a few improvements over its predecessor. For example, the Wolverine V2 Chroma's LED implementation definitely looks better, and I prefer its shape and overall design over the older model. It also gets points for using USB-C instead of the Ultimate's micro USB port, and for having the same offering or buttons as Microsoft's latest Xbox controller. While the name would seem to suggest it's just a color upgrade, it's not just the addition of Razer's Chroma RGB lighting that makes this a step up from the last V2. It keeps the two multi-function buttons at the top, but now they're joined by 4 triggers on the back of the gamepad. They're not paddles like the ones you'd find on competitors' line of controllers, but they are equipped with 2-stage stop switches that let you choose between a short and long pull distance depending on what type of game you're playing. The overall button placements are the same, and the analog sticks are true to the classic design. However, the Razer Wolverine V2 brings with it a few subtle tweaks, including a fatter grip that bulges out near the bottom of the handles instead of all the way down, and some green accents, because Razer. And now, best value, we have none other than the SteelSeries Stratus Duo. The biggest advantage the Stratus Duo has going for it is the feel and build quality. SteelSeries produces some killer hardware, and this latest gamepad is no exception. You wouldn't guess it from the pictures of its drab, textureless frame, but the Stratus Duo feels remarkably solid. I was so surprised by its heft, I uttered a wow while taking it out of the box. Unlike many of the third-party controllers on the market, the SteelSeries doesn't feel hollow in the center. It weighs 246 grams. The Duo features an ABXY button setup and symmetrical thumbsticks, like the DualShock 4. The sticks feel well designed with sharp grooves that make them easy to grip. The D-pad also sports a decent contour, but it feels mushy with very little clickiness. The Stratus Duo's main selling point is its compatibility with Android VR, namely the Samsung Gear VR, Oculus Rift, and Oculus Go, and PC of course. It connects to these via Bluetooth or 2.4 GHz wireless. Swapping between them is as easy as flipping a switch at the top of the handset, and such ease of use is underscored by a lack of dedicated software or drivers. Like many modern gadgets, it's a simple case of plug and play. If you're looking for a controller to game on PC and Android, then the SteelSeries is a capable contender at a decent price. It feels solid, and its dual frequency design makes switching between platforms a cinch. And in the end, we have the best premium one made from Valve itself, the Steam controller. Valve designed an all-new controller to allow people a wide variety of PC games. During the prototype development phase, the Steam controller was supposed to be the jack of all trades. Let's find out its design aspects which made it stand out from all the other game controllers. The Steam controller is not a traditional gamepad. Instead of the standard dual analog sticks and the D-pad, Valve gave its input device 1 analog stick and 2 giant touchpads. The design is bold, but it is also difficult to parse for anyone used to the old way of doing things. It is crafted out of plastic with a combination of glossy smooth and textured portions. The amount of hardware on this device simply outweighed its competitors. With the added feature of fully customizable control schemes, Valve promoted users to share their favorite mapping among gaming communities. It helped spread awareness about the best control settings for different games and advertise the capabilities of this controller. As a fan of fresh ideas in video games, the current state of video game controllers has bothered me for a long time. So I was pleased by how successfully the Steam controller pushes the console controller forward with ideas from the PC. And alright guys, we came to the bottom of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video to be helpful. And if you have any questions about the products mentioned in this video, you can leave a comment down below in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But until then, take care and stay safe. Peace out.